Hi, this is Grand Madam, Sunday, September 29th, 7:15 Eastern Time, 2019. This video is going to be about connections. There seems to be a lot of confusion about being connected with other people. During my readings and talking with clients and talking with people in general, I keep hearing this term, I'm connected to this person, or this person is my soulmate. Let me say this, and I'm going to set the record straight tonight. If you have a connection with someone that you do not want, or someone who is hurting you, or someone who makes you feel small, or someone who's treating you like dirt, just because you are connected does not mean that connection is for life, or that does not mean that you should stay in that relationship or try to fix that connection because it has become polluted. So when you're in a polluted connection, you must, for your own well-being, sever it. Now, in previous readings, well, the one for the weekend, I talked about this was a weekend when there were others who were going to walk away from toxic relationships or walk away from people who just were not supporting them or loving them or were neglecting them. Well, let me tell you what's happened on this side of town. There was an incident in Hunt Valley, the Hunt Valley shopping mall, where a guy went in and stabbed up several people, went into the liquor store, stabbed up people, went into another store and stabbed up a few people. Everyone survived. The police were called. He was gunned down, shot in the back. He's dead. Now, that's the official police report. Word on the street, or let's say word from witnesses in the supermarket, said that his wife had taken off her ring and thrown it at him. And then he goes off. Now, that was yesterday. 9 o'clock this morning, I get a call. I didn't take it because I was dead tired from the night before working. So the information came to me this evening. A fellow went to drop off the kids at the baby's mama's house and asked the baby mama to make him a sandwich. He is not in relationship with, or not supposed to be in relationship, conscious relationship with the baby mama, because he's engaged to marry someone else. He thought it was cool to ask her to fix him a sandwich. You know, fix me a sandwich. What you got to eat? I need something for my lunch. Number one, that's a wifely duty. Number two, can you imagine how that woman feels or felt when he asked her to fix him lunch, knowing full well he's going to marry someone else? Well, evidently, he didn't know how she felt either. So she fixed him a sandwich with rat poison in it. Luckily for him, he doesn't like mayonnaise, because when he scraped it off the bread, he found the rat poison. He's alive. But that's getting back to say this about your connections. You cannot stay in a negative connection with anyone because your health suffers. Your life may depend on not being in connection. But what is connection anyway? A connection is a link that bonds the two people or bonds you with other people. That connection may be spiritual Well, there is an etheric cord that attaches from your heart to another one, even with if there's no more of a connection than some type of transaction that you have with people at your bank where you cash your check, or with a new car salesman where you go buy your cars, or with your teacher who you sit in her class every day and listen to and respond. Whoever it is you interact with, you develop a connection. Now, the intensity of the connection determines upon your behavior, your emotional speech, or what it is you talk about with this person, how intense it is, and how often. Obviously, sex is a tremendous bond. It's a tremendous connection. And if you're out here having sex with the wrong person, I guarantee you're in trouble, deep, that you can't figure out how to get out. Because when you walk away, when you block them, the connection remains. And they come right back into your world and mess it up each and every time. Now, as I said before, a connection is an etheric bond, meaning it comes from spirit. We are energetic beings. When we speak to people, when we see people, we connect automatically. And if you don't believe we're energetic, put your hands together and just rub. Stop and pull your hands apart slowly. That energetic magnetized connection you feel between your hands is the energetic connection you give to other people when you speak to them, when you touch them, and when you have sex with them. It's even more powerful. There's something else you might not have even thought of. When you're in a toxic relationship, when you're with people who put you down, try to belittle you, talk down to you, hurt you consistently. Every time you get out of bed with them, there's some mess. And then they stomp away. You get up in the morning and say, good morning, and get cussed out. You answer the door after waiting for your loved one all day long. Hi, honey, how was your day? What you cook? If that. Then, my love, you're in a toxic relationship. Okay, let's say you're one of these spiritually evolved people who considers themselves a star seed or a light worker. You're a healer, so you're going to heal this person. You're going to help them through it. But what happens instead is that their toxicity infects you. And once that happens, your light dims. You know why your light dims? Not just because you can't handle the browbeating anymore, but because that toxicity that has just overtaken you has attracted negative entities to feed on your light. So you've got this other person who's beating you down, and now you've got some invisible beings who are sucking you dry. And you can't take it anymore. So what do you do about all that? You sever the tie. Now, I'm going to give you, it's a cleansing ritual. And pretty much explain how to sever the tie. It's not a one-time deal. It's not a one-shot practice. This you'll have to do a minimum of once a week or whenever you feel the pull of that other person. Now, this is after you have separated yourself from the situation. It's not going to do you a damn bit of good, excuse my French, if you're still with this person, if you're still in the house, if you're still sleeping with them, if you're still texting them, if you're still talking to them, if you're still shooting emails back and forth, if you still have to go to work and deal with them every day because it's your boss, it's not going to work. But once you have separated yourself physically and you tell yourself no more, then you're ready for this ritual. If you have finally put yourself first for healing or just self-preservation, then you are ready for this ritual. And it's very simple. You probably have the ingredients in your cabinet somewhere, in the kitchen or in the bathroom cabinet. What you're going to need is Epsom salts and baking soda. And this is what you do. First, you shower. That's your physical cleansing. Then you draw yourself a bath. And you put in a cup of Epsom salts and a box of baking soda in the tub. Soak for 20 minutes. Now, if you do not have a tub, but you have a shower, what you would do would be to put the shower first to cleanse yourself physically. And as you do this, I'm cleansing myself of this situation. Then you would have a pan of water or a pot of water, whatever you can contain some water in. Fill the pot or pan. Put the salt and the baking soda in that. While you're in the shower, pour it over your head. As you are doing this, imagine you are standing in front of this person. See the heart, see the cord that's connecting you two at the heart. Pretend, use your 2 fingers, that you have magic scissors. And you put those scissors in front of your heart along that cord and snip. I release you. I release you. I release you. And all that no longer serves me, I release you. This is a very powerful ritual. It's a very simple ritual. And it's a very effective ritual. It works. But you have to be consistent with it and consistent about it. Now, like I said, once a week, this ritual is fine. In the event, after you've done your ritual, thoughts of that other person still crop up, do the visual. See yourself cutting the cord and release. Every time you think of that person, see yourself cutting the cords and release. Now, let me say this. Some of you might be under, and you're going to think I'm nuts, but what? A spell? And once you cut that cord, you're going to get a phone call from the person who put that spell on you. If you find yourself in a situation where you are sexually obsessed with a person and the sex is really, compared to everybody else, just mediocre or straight out trash, but you've got to have this anyway, that's a spell. You've been rooted. Intensely so. So when you cut this cord, you're going to get a phone call from them, or they're going to pop up to see you. Do not touch them. Do not speak to them. Cut the cord in your mind. Don't answer the door. Don't answer the text. They're supposed to be blocked anyway, right? Just keep those people away from you. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to do this ritual over and over and over again until this person is no longer in your mind. When this person is no longer in your mind, you don't think about them, there's nothing going on in your world or another world or on the TV or the radio that reminds you of this person, then and only then would you be free from this person. Okay? So, about connections. The purpose of us connecting with each other energetically is to share light and love, good experiences. But when you find yourself in a situation where the connection is dark, painful, demeaning, debilitating, when you're torn down with that connection, it's time to sever the ties. I don't care how good the sex is. Because otherwise, you will put yourself in a negative vortex and attract negative things. And some of those negative things can be downright lethal, like that guy in the Hunt Valley situation, or the one whose baby mama tried to poison him. Those ties should have been cut and boundaries set up, strong boundaries set up around that situation. Well, boundaries and bars have been set up now because she's in jail. That's not funny. But you understand the intensity, the seriousness of it, of severing negative ties. This has been what's been vexing my spirit this weekend. Otherwise, I had a pretty good one. And I don't want you going through this if you don't have to. When you know someone's not good for you, cut the ties. I don't care if it's family, friends, coworkers, cut the ties. You'll be so much better off without them. And in cutting that tie, all that negative energy that's been hitting you and feeding into your system, feeding into your soul, will have dissipated. It's one thing to sell your soul to the devil. But when you give it away, whose fault is that? This is Grand Madam. I'm wishing you much love and much light this evening. I'm going to end this tape and figure out if I've discovered a way to actually turn this thing off without a lot of fear. Good night.